Shallal is an inclusive community dance theatre company. It's based in sort of Penzance, Penwith area, although we do have people from outside that area now coming. It started roughly 20 years ago. The main company meets just over half a day once a week in term time, and people make a commitment to the main show, which happens roughly every year, and that's performed at the Acorn for a minimum of 3 performances. During that time, quite often people come up and ask us to do various performances in the community and outreach work. We've been invited very nicely by Cornwall County Council to come and be at an evening event they've got where the National Advisor for Learning Disabilities is coming down. So an old friend of ours, Nigel Walker, remembered us and has invited us, and we're really pleased to be here. It's great.
For a long time, for 20 years. It gives us more pleasure for ones who's got learning disability, but without learning disability, to give them a chance to give them a freedom.
So you think that your dancing gives you freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a freedom in working from yourself.
To do anything. I wasn't able to use my hands, use my legs, wasn't able to move. But apart from the only bit I was allowed to move was my head, and I was able to talk. That was it. I wasn't even able to feed myself. And now I'm totally independent. I can do everything myself, and now I've joined Shallal Dance Theatre Company, and dancing makes me feel free. Through dancing I use people's bodies, just by holding parts of their bodies or using my frame.
It's just really having an open door to say whoever wants to come in and join.
It's important that everyone gets a chance to be creative, and I don't think really in our society everyone does.
So the open house sessions there once a week in Penzance and Redruth. Well, it is open to everybody, so we get people coming from all over the community. I believe it provides something that's missing from most communities. It's quite a unique thing, and it is bringing people together from various places, and from certain institutions, and people who are living out in the community, maybe on their own a lot of the time. So it's provided an opportunity for people to meet together in a creative space, really, in a safe creative space. So that's one of the ethos of Shallal, that we always have a safe space.
That's a good place, isn't it? Right in the middle there.
It's the whole atmosphere. I think that will benefit them a lot. Going somewhere different, having people to guide them through it. It will benefit the staff as well, to be perfectly honest. It's been a really good experience. No matter who you are, they can take part in it. And also, you're meeting people from other areas. I think that's very important as well. It isn't just people from Murdoch Dravidic. We're getting people out into the community to do things like this, and without people like running things like this, there isn't going to be anything like that out there. So yeah, very important.
They do nice things here. Sometimes we act and dance sometimes. We like acting and
dancing around spaces and things.
And how does it make you feel?
Very happy.
There's very little places where you can go and people actually find their own voice. So I think a lot of what I believe in is giving people their voice and allowing them to lead it. You know, so you start a session and you do this and that, and then actually you're always looking for any sign or clue that someone else has got something better going on, or something they're not, that is even slightly unconscious themselves, that you could bring out for them. The creative arts allow people to engage on a level of equality if you work process rather than technique. And I think it does provide community and all those skills we were talking about that you get from improvisation. And the fact the whole thing that dance therapy does is when you move your body, you can also move your emotions, you can gain confidence, you can get yourself more in balance. They're all sort of side effects of it, but they're very positive side effects of it. And someone said once with Open House, she just said it made her get up in the morning. You know, that in itself can be quite depending on where you are in your life, that's quite an important thing.
It's great to have the opportunity to dance and to dance with other people.
Yeah.
That, you don't have that space anywhere else. To just, maybe you dance in your front room on your own, but to dance with other people is something else. That's really special.
And it's special since we don't have to all go and say, let's all kick 1, 2, 3 kick and that sort of thing. I think most of us would lose count of the kicks and timing, but this is built for us.
Wrote us about us in the Cornishman recently and said it's greater than the sum of its parts. And I think it's like when you have a gathering of people with a focus, it's more than just one. It becomes something greater. So I think there's something when you gather together which is sort of something greater happens.
What does Shallal mean to me? Well, it means all sorts of things, really. Actually, it's like a little family. It's definitely a community thing. It's a heartfelt thing.
Shallal allows me to be whatever I want to be, like.
Shallal is in my life, because in my life it's part of dance, important dance to me. Because I'm a dancer, see, because I enjoy coming here to dance here in the main company.
The very fact that we're all different allows us a sort of freedom as well, which I think is interesting.
We're all different.
Shallal has its place in the dance world, rather like naive and outsider art have their place in the visual art world. It comes from a community of philosophy, a worldview of each person's value and contribution. Labels are only useful to define and assist someone's needs. We know that people have been moved, challenged and changed by watching. Choice and freedom are especially important for people who have less say than most over what happens in their lives. We do not wish to tell people how to move. We are much more interested in learning from them and seeing their inner beauty. The facilitator's creative role is to allow that to happen and help that person find the way in and access that world. It is not so much reliant on skill, more it tests out your belief system. If you believe this, you will try to allow it to happen by adapting, changing, maintaining communication until something breaks through.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last 3 stops of our journey. First we come to